This meeting between William Ruto and Raila Odinga, sometime towards the end of 2017, how did it exactly go down? Of course, I'm referring to the meeting where we are told that the deputy president approached Raila to assist him to impeach President Uhuru Kenyatta. Because of course with the numbers from the ODM side in parliament and with the numbers from the legislators allied to the deputy president in Jubilee, they would have passed anything in parliament. That would have been a very powerful team, capable of passing any bill, including impeaching the president. On my show today, I give you details of how that meeting went down. Karibu sana, let's not waste time. And by the way, towards the end, actually at the very end, please take time to take in the two very important clips for the development of this your beloved channel. Karibu sana to my show, and please enjoy yourself thoroughly. Raila Odinga, the ODM leader and a principal of the handshake, was asked recently about this impeachment manenos, about this sensational information we have been given by the president and his man, that actually the deputy president tried to remove the president from office before his term ends, by impeachment and other means. So Raila Odinga was asked, what's the story? Tell us. Raila's response, I have no idea. Hiyo maneno sijui. Now a lot of Kenyans are puzzled. If Raila doesn't know, could it still be true? Now, don't be naive. Raila is a very experienced politician. Maybe the most experienced politician we have in the country. What did you expect him to do? Let's step back for a minute, and look at this. We have seen the deputy president go out of his way to drag Raila into this impeachment manenos. How? He said it was not he, Ruto, who was trying to remove the president. It was in fact Raila. And of course Raila didn't take the bait. He didn't rush and respond. He just kept quiet. What's going on here? Now, very simply put, what has emerged after these mind-boggling revelations is a kind of political mud fight between the president's man and Deputy President William Ruto. Now think about it for a minute. If you were Raila Odinga, would you want to get into that mud fight? Get into the mud and fight with the others? No. And it should be very, very instructive that the deputy president was determined to rope in Raila into this discussion for a very simple reason. The whole idea is to cause this very serious issue to be reduced to the usual mud fight, political mud fight. And therefore it would have made it very easy for the Deputy President to say, these are the usual accusations. These are the usual back and forth between myself and Muganga and the President. Isn't that how the Deputy President refers to Raila? And so in my opinion, Raila has very smartly opted to stay out. To stay completely out of this ongoing discussion. A very serious and grave matter. And in doing so, the focus remains on the accusations from the President and his men. Nobody is reducing this to the usual mud fights, although there are very many efforts towards the same. A lot of statements from UDA followers, UDA leading lights, so to speak. The whole idea is to politicize, make this issue just the usual politics. But the truth is, it can never be the usual politics. Because the accusations are serious. Very serious. Now, in my show today, I want us to dive into this Raila Ruto meeting. Because we have been told that Deputy President William Ruto approached Raila to assist him to deal with the President after the general elections, after the presidential elections. Now you'll remember at that time, Raila Odinga and ODM and the whole NASA fraternity were livid. There was a lot of emotion flying around there. The main beef, of course, was electoral injustice. Because the people who had lost the election had been declared the winners. So you can imagine the frame of mind a man like Raila Odinga would have been in when Ruto came calling. And of course Ruto was very much aware of all this. And I believe Ruto wanted to use the ongoing emotions and situation to his advantage. And so what would Ruto have offered Raila? Because we know Ruto was already the Deputy President. There's no way he'd have offered himself as a deputy in an alliance with Raila. And therefore the best he would have offered Raila would have been a deputy presidency. That's really how it must have gone down. And of course Raila knows Ruto's character very well. Because in case you forgot, if the impeachment against President Uhuru Kenyatta had been successful, the Constitution does not say that we go into a fresh election. No. The Constitution does not say that the leader of the opposition takes over. No. The Constitution says very clearly that the Deputy President takes over as President and finishes that term. What that means is that you're William Ruto and you have made a deal with Raila and he has assisted you and you have become President. Who is going to force you to make Raila your deputy? Who? Unaweza kumruka completely because you've already achieved your objective. Even if you put it in writing. I want to refer you back to 2003 and the famous Memorandum of Understanding between Raila Odinga's wing of the National Rainbow Coalition and President Mwai Kibaki. President Mwai Kibaki trashed that legal MOU when he became president. And of course it became a major bone of contention. And so the statement that it is Raila who wanted to impeach President Uhuru Kenyatta makes zero sense. And that is precisely what the Deputy President is trying to tell us. In my view, this recent move by the President and his men to expose the Deputy President and what really happened, the mind-boggling things that happened during this betrayal, this move has taken the Deputy President completely by surprise. I don't think in his worst nightmare he ever imagined that the President would spill the beans and reveal what was happening. It is a very sensitive story. In some ways, it exposes even the President himself. And therefore, I believe the Deputy President felt very safe that this story would never come out. But now it has come out. I highly recommend that you take in my previous video where I've detailed this whole impeachment manenos. It is one of the most important videos I've ever put together. Just make sure you take it in. I mean, this thing is like a mafia movie. The Godfather. Mario Puzo's The Godfather. What? I would strongly recommend that if you're going to miss any video on this channel, that one don't miss. Because it explains everything. It brings in a lot of clarity into all these manenos. It helps us understand exactly what was happening. What has been happening in Kenyan politics. Trust me, I am not exaggerating. That is a fact. Now I believe, for those of us who are political students, there is something very important we need to acknowledge. Had Raila Odinga accepted to assist Deputy President William Ruto to bring down the President of the Republic of Kenya right now would have been William Ruto. Make no mistake about it. In other words, Ruto would have already been President of Kenya since sometime in 2018. And so, Raila was the key in stopping that from happening. Need I remind you again of the mood in NASA after the 2017 presidential elections? I mean, NASA was so hostile that when Raila went into a handshake with the president, most in NASA were angry. They were annoyed at Raila. How could Raila betray us like this and go and shake hands with Uhuru? You remember that? And of course, most people in NASA had no idea what was happening. Nobody knew that the Deputy President had already approached Raila, offering him a deal, a sweet deal, to remove the President. And so only one man stood in the way of a William Ruto presidency in 2018, and that man was Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga refused to play ball. I think I'm now beginning to understand even more why the Deputy President seems so emotional whenever he's referring to Raila. Yule mganga, yule mtu wa vitendawili, and he's talking so much bitterness. I was asking myself, kwani Raila alikula mbuzi ya Ruto? Ni nini Raila alifanya Ruto? Lazima kuna kitu Raila alifanya Ruto. Well, folks, we have our answer. We have solved that mystery. It is now clear, crystal clear, why there's this hatred. You know, there's a difference between having a political opponent and having somebody who you just hate. They happen to be a political opponent, but you also hate them with all your heart. Now, Raila's opponent is, of course, William Ruto. But I don't see that bitterness in Raila when he's talking about the Deputy President. I don't see that venom, the change of expression, the body language, when he's talking about Ruto. No. He just talks about him normally, the way you talk about anybody else, like Kumekucha Chris. But when the deputy president speaks about Raila, wacha tu. In my humble opinion, in this instance, despite what must have been great temptation, because we've come out of a general election where we've been cheated, a presidential election where we've been cheated in broad daylight. It has been stolen from you in broad daylight. Even after the Supreme Court nullified that election, it has still been brutally taken away from you. Therefore it must have been very tempting. But I believe Raila did something that will stand the test of time, which is the most important thing in this life. I know many don't agree, but that's my view. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha. Out of all the political books I've ever written, and there are quite a number, Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency stands out as an amazing bestseller. And also many consider it a classic because it takes a look at the office of the Presidency of the Republic of Kenya like nobody else has ever done before, or even to date. And many of those who have taken in this amazing ebook say that they just couldn't stop reading through. They just couldn't put it down. Maybe that has a lot to do with some of the mind-boggling information contained in this book. Did you know, for example, that Jomo Kenyatta once confessed in public that he would never, ever touch alcohol again? Many people don't know that, and they don't even know the circumstances. But many of us know that the first president of Kenya during his presidency enjoyed the occasional stiff drink when his health allowed, despite the earlier firm promise he had made in public earlier in his life. And don't even mention the scene painted very clearly in the book, where a small boy, shivering because it was raining cats and dogs, and carrying a 2-year-old baby on his back, arrived at the home of his grandfather, who made some predictions that dominated his life, frustrated him for the rest of his life, until that prediction came true. Or maybe it is because of the picture painted of Daniel Arap Moi, especially during his first cabinet meeting, where it was difficult for him even to look up. And even the other cabinet ministers, some of them who had been harassing him for years, could not look at him straight in the eye. There was so much tension at that cabinet meeting, captured perfectly, accurately in Dark Secrets. It is totally amazing. And there's much more, right up to the Kibaki presidency. Now I have some amazing news for you. This book is available in video format. That is, you don't even have to read it. Many people hate to read. They don't have the time to read. You can take it in as a video. You can take it in as an audiobook. Listen to it right through. And I have an amazing offer for you today. Not only will I send you the ebook in PDF format. Yeah, you can even print it out as a book and read it. Yeah, I will also send it to you in video format. Yeah, so that you can listen to it right through or watch it right through. Amazing, isn't it? But there's more. If you take advantage of this very latest offer of mine, I will give you 6 months membership free to my weekly intelligence briefings. That means if you already have 6 months, I will add you another 6 months on top of what you have, so that you have a whole year to enjoy my weekly intelligence briefings. And by the way, I have quite a number of briefings, Jikoni, that I'm preparing, which I'll release in quick succession within the next few days. And those are weekly intelligence briefings you don't want to miss. So don't waste any time. For slightly above $10, very little money, you can't even go into most restaurants with that kind of money, you'll be able to receive both the PDF format of Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency and the video version. Yeah, so don't waste any time. You can see the details on your screens right now. Just send a blank email to that email address you see, and you'll receive full payment instructions on what to do. The same payment instructions are repeated in the description area below this video on YouTube. Go for it. This offer is only for a very limited time. Yeah, so take full advantage of it. And of course, in taking up this offer, you'll also be supporting the work I do on this channel. And if you believe this work is important, yeah, then you will be doing something very important in getting hold of Dark Secrets of the Kenyan Presidency. Go for it right away. Asanteni sana for your time. This is your humble servant, Chris Kumekucha. When God gives you a gift, it is not for you. It is not for your family. It is for other people. You're supposed to use your gift to change the lives of other people. And for those who seek happiness in this life, nothing will make a human being happier. Trust me, nothing on this world will make a human being happier than the knowledge that they have changed one person's life forever. Yeah? Now, I've been very fortunate to have been very gifted by God. And not only gifted, but also trained in the renowned University of Hard Knocks. Yeah? The harsh university of this life. And I feel very privileged and very humbled, yeah, to get to know all the time that I've changed many people's lives forever. I even know a couple of people who no longer come to this channel. Not because they hate me, but because they are busy these days. So busy that they hardly have time, but they've regained their dignity. They're putting food on the table. They're doing a lot of things, amazing things. And all thanks to some books I produced, which you can see on your screens right now, that changed their lives. Not only did they get that idea that changed everything, but they also got the skills to be able to sell without looking like they're selling. Because it's one thing to get a brilliant idea to make money, but it's quite another to do it practically and get people interested and get somebody to actually pay you real money for what it is you're offering. It is also one thing to have a business that is struggling, a business operating way below its true potential. That's one thing. And it's quite another to turn around that business so that it prospers. You have plenty of customers. My sincere hope in making this short clip is to influence and change the lives of many more Kenyans, because that is my mandate. That is what I was born to do. And I felt that this is the perfect time. Many people have been hit very hard by the COVID manenos. Life has become very difficult, almost unbearable for some. Some businesses that were making serious money before Corona are now struggling. Others have shut down completely. There is no better time for these two amazing titles have produced. 101 brilliant business ideas or money-making ideas that will thrive in the country called Kenya and well beyond almost anywhere in the world. And how to get plenty of customers immediately, very quickly. For only $25, you can have both ebooks, life-changing ebooks. And for only $15, you can have only the ideas. Now you can see details on your screens right now. You will find full payment details in the description area below this video on YouTube. Go for it. I highly recommend it. And I have a suggestion. Maybe you're okay. You're doing okay. I would suggest that you get it for a friend. You get the books for a friend, a relative, or somebody you know who is having it very difficult right now. It'll help them. It'll change their lives. And you'll have helped me to touch one more life, to change one more life, because that is my mission. Asante sana.